Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. It is Hump Day. I am Salad Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Welcome, Grid. You're number one, and Blunt Ninja, you are number two. Welcome, Lou Rock, number three, and Bob, you are number four. Hola, back to you, Blunt, back to you. Yay, Grit, you're number one. Hey, Brina, you are number, I think, 4, 5, or 6. And to everyone over on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Welcome. If you want to join via audio, you will have to come over to Podbean. And as you guys know, today's show is being hosted by yours truly, Chill Will. So Will, I hope you're ready. I sent you an invite to come on over. Are you here? Let me stop the music here. Okay, and welcome, Frankie. Okay, so, Chill. You gotta come on up.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, I'm laughing, and the show hasn't even started.
I ain't even did nothing.
I said, I'm laughing. The show hasn't started. Welcome, Chill.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, man? What's up, y'all?
Well, this is
Man,
your show
it's good to
today.
see y'all.
So you want to tell everybody what the show's about? I'll sit back and be the admin and
Right.
welcome people in. Welcome, GP man. So, will you have the
I
mic?
see. Right. I see Brina. What else? I see Lou. I see Blunt Ninja. Hey, girl. Uh, man, GP man, F1, and Bob. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one today, y'all, because I feel like there's a lot to be said. I'm gonna definitely need some women to call up here, though. Y'all not gonna just leave me out to
Well, why
dry
don't you
today.
tell people what the show is about?
I got you. I got you. I got
Okay,
you. I got you.
okay,
Look,
okay.
look, solid.
Okay.
Listen here.
I am on mute. Bye.
But yeah, so today's show is about toxic masculinity. The topic in general is what I want to talk about. How do people feel about it? Define it, because I feel like normally we speak about things and ideals, but there's no real definition for it. When do you see it? So I would love to get obviously some women up here. I got Solid. She's gonna definitely let us know how she feel about it. We already know that, but overall, just the diversity of thoughts and ideals would be helpful today. So don't be silent. I try to make sure I keep up in the chat if you can't call in as much as I can. Solid may help me out with that one. But overall, the subject is toxic masculinity, and is it a real thing even, or is it just like the feminist agenda? Because that's typically attached to the feminist agenda, right? Like we talk about that term, and that's kind of I feel like was certain terms are created, and I would feel like that was be spawned from the feminist agenda, and what does it actually mean? You know, and that's always the debate. And but so without further ado, we're gonna get into it. Initially, how do you feel? Just the basis of it. How do you guys feel about the actual ideal of it? What does it mean to you? What does it say? What is it saying? How do you define it? And it's only me and Solid Blue up here now, so I will definitely start with Solid Blue and how she feels about it. Is it a real thing? And if it is, what do you define?
I was trying to get Brina back because Brina actually asked to come up, and I'm a little disappointed, Brina, because you're actually coming up on the show the first time for Chill and not for me. So,
I'm not
anyway,
work. I'm sorry. I'm not working right now. That's why. I'm usually at work.
uh-huh. So you took the day off just so you can, uh-huh. Okay. All right. Uh, um, I'm going to hold my views chill until I want to hear what everyone else has to say, and then I'll throw in my 2, 4, 5, 6 cents. Chill. Did I scare you coming back on the panel? Chill, are you there? See you, Brina.
Check
You.
one. My bad. My bad. I don't even know how I hit the. I must have hit it with something. I don't know. My bad. Yeah, I'm here. But yeah. So solid. That's cool. Brenda can go first, but yeah, well, obviously we're the only two up here, so we gotta get somebody else up. Okay, Brenda, they go by. There we go. There we go. Here we go. We need a
Okay,
couple more.
I saw Caps, but I don't know where he went. So, all
Okay. Well,
right.
whenever they come up, just make sure y'all muting yourselves because we just want to respect each individual here. Those are the rules in Silent Blues show, making sure we respect everybody and everyone, and we going one at a time. If not, we muting. But yeah, but let's roll with it. Brenda, you up?
Well, for starters, I think that when little boys are raised, they're kind of raised to mask their feelings. You know, it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to show any type of emotion. I think that kind of fucks with them because as they get older, they show it in angry ways. You know, they'll punch walls, punch people, whatever. So I think that's where it starts.
And so that's a part of the definition of toxic masculinity. That's
Yeah.
the origin of it. But as a whole,
Hmm.
what do you feel like? What are some telltale signs of toxic? So it's a thing for you. So you're saying yes, it is definitely a thing that it is real. Am I right?
Yeah. It's not
And
being able
so,
to express yourself in a healthy way.
mm, a male not being able to express itself in a healthy way. Got you. Well, that's all right. That's a good portion of it. And anything else?
Nah, not right now.
Okay. All right, Bob.
All right, boy, bud. All right, Brina. Hello, solid.
What up, big dog?
I I, I think toxic masculinity is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's only came on the scene since the weaponization of feminism. They kind of it's a kind of way to control the wording around men with strong views. Um, I think when men can be toxic, that's something else. I don't think that's toxic masculinity. It's just, misogyny or just being a dick, but they've created this term toxic masculinity to kind of, it's like the demonization of men. If you have strong views or if you believe, some of the views I've expressed on the show, maybe around like single parents or like having a two-parent household with one parent staying at home. If someone doesn't like my beliefs, they could call me a toxic, I'm toxic masculinity, but it's only because they don't like my views. I think it's a term that's being created when other terms like misogynist would do. That's my opinion.
Oh, so you're saying that if a feminist disagrees with a typical male, I'm just asking to make male viewpoint. If anything they agree, it could be considered as kind of like toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I think having strong views and strong traditional views, you can be seen as toxic masculinity. But I think it's a real problem that we might get into later on the show that toxic masculinity is just masculinity. Like um, I've said before in the show, like boys who are brought up by single mothers. Now, not all, so don't jump down my throat, but they can become feminine men, and the opposite if it was a single parent father. There's an argument that he could be toxic masculinity if the father isn't, parenting well. So, it's just views of misogyny. Maybe homophobia was one that I looked up, that they're saying these are toxic masculinity traits. But I just think it's they don't want strong men in our world now. They don't want strong views like there were back in the day. They want people to be, cucked and subdued, and good little boys and good little girls to kind of be easier controlled. So if someone gets into, I don't know, stoicism or philosophy, or, they'd probably be regarded as toxic masculinity, just to demonize them.
Can I say something now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't know when you wanted to go, so I'm sorry, Caps. So, Caps, you'll go after Silent.
Oh,
But
no,
Caps,
no,
I
Caps,
see you.
Caps, go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I just wanted to say something really quickly, and hi everyone. I hope you're doing very, very well, and it's lovely to see all your faces and everyone in the chat. So, with what you've just said, I find it as like we react to people like I react to toxicity. I will bounce off that, and but that's how I've been taught. But then when you look at what you've just said at the end of it, you get me again, because then what I think, and I'm going to shut up right now, but what I think is that men are being made to be like women, and women are being made to be like men. It's weird, but yeah, question that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Caps, real quick. That's awesome that you said that, because what I want to know is, what does that mean? Like, do you think traditionally it's a thing to be a man or a woman? Like, or is just an ideal that they're fighting? So a lot of times what they're saying is that, it's not necessarily not manly to, to be rah rah with the fellas. Like, I mean, so the things that are toxic are typically the things that I feel like people say that go too far, like the homophobia, or just like the boys getting together and doing like manly, quote unquote, manly stuff. Some of that stuff they will, or a man staying at home, for instance. They say, why would that be considered not being much of a man? Like, a man is a provider. So
But
there's an
can I
ideal.
answer that?
Is
Can I answer
that
it?
hold on? Is that just an ideal, or actually attached to men?
No, that's a
Is that just an ideal?
label. It's a label. Once again, it's a pure label in what people are doing. Like, I don't believe in cancel culture, so to speak, but what I do believe is in freedom, and how if I want to change a nappy or a diaper, I shouldn't get looked at like I'm feminine for doing that. So, things change in the world, but you should still be the man. And I believe that there's some groups and some movements that are actually taking over that right and going, you can't even be called a man or Mister anymore, and stuff like that. And it's getting scary. But yeah, I think they're taking everything away from us and making it so equal, where it gets to the point where it's getting to. I don't know how you come back from it, but yeah, that's what I'm
Who
gonna say.
is they, and what do you feel like? What do you feel are the masculine traits
The
that are
government,
caught?
the media, they're making it normal.
Okay,
Everything's
okay.
normal. Everything's
So, but
normal, and it's not normal. Like there's loads of. That's just my opinion, though. So sorry.
guys, I'm with you, but I'm trying to get more kind of hyper specific on what. Can you name a trait maybe offhand? I mean, you
Well,
can't, that you feel like, this
yeah.
is a
For
regular masculine
example,
trait. This is that's being attacked.
Well, like everything, really. We always get it. We're stereotyped in such a way that we go to work and a woman will do the dishes. But
Right.
like that's an obvious. But like we're getting stripped of what we do because women want to feel equal. And we become non-existent in a way. We become nothing, and it's like, what
Okay,
are you
got you.
trying to do to us?
So that's gonna lead. I'm gonna hold it right there, because that's leading to something else I had a question on later. Now, but Solid, I'm gonna let Solid go.
Am I talking sense?
Okay.
Sorry, am I talking sense or?
Okay. So the word toxic, again, people I think are making too much out of that word, because you can say whether it's a toxic man, woman, you go back in time, men have always been the dominant person. Society and men have made themselves always to be the dominant, and I'm going to go back to the whole thing about women are supposed to stay home, they're supposed to have kids, they're not supposed to have work, they're not supposed to work. But if you read some of the diaries from various people over time, from Martha Washington, Harriet Tubman, Jane Austen. Just read some of these books and what have you. Women, it's not so much as women wanted to be on the same par as men. They just didn't want to be talked down to or thought that, okay, now you're the little woman, you won't understand, so you just go over here and you let the men do it. And men have kind of made a reputation for themselves where sometimes they can be overbearing, whatever, but but they were always called, well, we are a man. But if a woman was overbearing, she got the B word. So is it really that that men are now being made to be less than, or are women, just stepping up and saying, you all can do whatever you want to do, but we're going to do whatever we want to do. Men, some. I got to make sure I say that word some, because I'll get fussed at. Um, some men or some fathers, parents, men, um, push their sons into sports. And I remember, when my son was doing little league and whatever, it was like the way these fathers would talk to their sons because they missed the ball. And we're talking kids who are 5 and 6. So men to me have given themselves that rep. So it's not that men are being made to feel less than. I think women are kind of stepping up saying we are not less than. So
Gotcha.
how you feel, and I've said this before, how you feel, that's on you.
Mm. Real quick, I'm gonna read some comments. And Alpha Mike says, "I like flowers, but that doesn't mean I'm not manly. Uh, I'm manly admitted, and I still grunt and yell at sports games. Right on, right on. Blunt Ninja, masculine traits are considered toxic include that are considered toxic include using or threatening violence, controlling others, acting aggressively, suppressing emotions, trying to appear tough, treating sex as a competition, feeling entitled to sex from others, using power over women, weaker men, etc." All right, so basically being a bully. And Alpha Mike also said women make money from selling their bodies on social media, yet demand respect from men. But well, yes. Uh-oh. Blue Rock says, well, households have been missing fathers for years already. F1 says, my daughter played her rugby tournament the whole day yesterday, and our son sat at home all day. Just saying. So he's alluding to the stereotypes of men and boys, women and men, or boys and girls. So some women had no choice but to take over. Absolutely, especially in today's society. Um, and Chris Wilson, greetings to everybody in here. Greetings to you as well. Feel free to call in, anybody, and chime in. But we're still trying. I hear we're commenting on this, and that I guess Blunt Ninja gave a more specific definition of what I was looking for: acting aggressively, controlling others, suppressing emotions. But isn't there a point to where that is useful? Can I ask that? That's what I really want to ask. So I'm gonna go to Brina.
Yeah, I mean, if it's pushed out of you, you should act aggressively, but you don't have to act like that all the time. Like I said, it's knowing how to control your emotions and act appropriately. You don't have to be violent all the time. But I think somebody said that media kind of teaches us to, be a man, be tough, fuck shit up. You don't have to be like that all the time. And just because a little boy doesn't like sports doesn't mean, he's not gonna be manly.
Right, Roger that. So you feel like, all right, that some aggression, though I believe some aggression is definitely necessary, right? I think some
Yes.
of these things men do to teach their boys, they're teaching them, they feel like they're teaching them how to be a man and how to deal with society. Obviously there's a fine line between, making it toxic or just actually teaching them how the world goes. But there's a such thing that, that may appeal to the normal person. We got to be able to teach our sons at least what it is, not necessarily that abide by those rules, but it's out there. So how do you go about doing that? And also, but I'm sorry, I don't want to get too delve into another topic too much. But is it useful? Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Blunt Ninja kind of stole my thunder. I was actually writing down those traits I found on Google, which are spot on. But this is exactly what I was trying to say in my previous statement was these things here that Blunt Ninja has labeled. These are not masculine traits. I would say these are toxic traits. But what they've done is they've linked these traits to masculinity. So if you ever, like you were just about to say, and Brina brought up as well, it's sometimes these traits are useful. For example, negotiating contracts, or just in general life, you could use aggressiveness. You could use being kind of forceful, in a good way. But now you can't, because what they'll do is, because they've created this label of toxic masculinity, any man that shows signs of these traits will be called a toxic masculinity. That's the number one rule of how you control things, is when you create a name, whenever something happens in the world, the first thing they do is create a label for it. And then as soon as you do that, you then control that movement. So this is, anyone in the world, whether it's male or female or whatever, can be aggressive or can suppress their emotions. But the fact that they've put the word masculinity in there is weaponizing. It's a lot of these traits that men would like to use for the good, they can't now, because some women might be right into the feminist movement, and they'll say, oh no, don't you get toxic masculinity with me, you're showing signs of of acting aggressive. And it's a way to keep strong men down. We're all being demasculated.
So you're saying that is part of it is a part. It's not a real thing. It's just a part of the feminist agenda.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. No, I
Okay.
mean,
All
I'm
right. Well,
not saying
Caps.
these
Oh
things,
well. Go ahead.
sorry, I'm
You're
not I'm
gonna
not
let
saying
Hold on,
that
Caps. Hold on, Caps. Go
there
ahead.
aren't, horrible men out there that are evil and rape or force women to have sex or abusive, but they are not masculine. They're masculine traits to me are being like a gentleman, looking after your wife, putting a jacket around her, pulling the seat out. That's masculine gentleman traits. But these traits, like if someone is beating their wife, they're toxic. They're just toxic, not toxic masculinity. I'd like that word to be removed.
Mm. Good. Damn. And sometimes I do feel like some ways they're attacking the biological traits of men, and that's one thing I think between men and women we do not understand each other. Testosterone and estrogen are two different things, and a lot of times I do believe that we kind of get that crossed and don't understand the
Ah,
effects of it on each other. But go ahead, Caps. Go ahead.
right. So I'll give you a little example. Yeah. So like what you just said about teaching children and about what moves, I understand what you're saying, Bar, to a degree. To a degree, and like at the end of the day, yeah, like you teach, like my son, like I got taught a different way, but it's always self-respect. You always have respect for yourself, and if as long as you got that, you've got a lot of things. But if you show signs, I wanted my kids to do football, and that he don't like football. He never liked football. He likes tennis. He don't like football. He likes gymnastics. Don't like. Does that make him a lesser of a man? So again, you can always question these things, but at the end of the day, really, like the problem is with society, really, is like what you just said, women. and men, and no one accepts anything anymore. And it's not fair. It's not fair, and we are getting crushed, like I said before. But like I did want to press on something. It's just flipped my head. What you just said. You've just said something, and it's just flipped my head. Oh God. Toxic women. Yeah, that's it. What I was going to say. So, here's an example. This is the example I was going to give. I'm sorry, my head flipped. I digressed. So I'll give you an example. So my missus will tell my child to calm down, for example, and she'll tell him. But me, I will come in and I'll go, "What you doing? Calm down. Stop." Why do they listen to me? I don't hit them, but why do they listen to me? But they don't listen to the mum as quick.
Okay,
Why?
Caps, you have a lot of background noise. You may want to. Thank you.
But do you understand where I'm coming from? Why do they listen to the dad more than the mum? Think about it. If they're there, that is.
Now, GP man, you new, so I know you may want to catch up. I'll go ahead and let you comment really quickly, and I'll let Solid go after that.
Hello.
Yeah, you hear? We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing, I just want to let you know that this whole term of toxic masculinity, that's only like you only see that in the first world countries.
Okay,
Yeah, you're a little low.
GP,
You're a little low.
you are very faint.
Oh, let me try something. All right. What about now?
Yeah, you still faint. It maybe is. Are you far away from the phone mic? Maybe it's the phone mic, because it depends on your headphones. It's either coming out of your headphones or it comes out the bottom of your phone, depending on where it picks up at. Or if you're not on, I don't know if you're on a phone or iPad or something.
All right. Let me try this. What about now?
Okay, yeah, we still can't hear you. So while you get that, I'm gonna let it Solid go, and then you'll go next.
I didn't want to say anything. I just think you need to catch up on the chat. So while GP Man is figuring out his phone, you should look at the chat.
Okay, cool. I'll go to the chat really quickly. I gotta go up. Hey, Charlene, what up? I see you walked in. Maybe useful in the mirror. Okay, so I'm trying to catch it. Okay, it says Alpha Mike says, "Chill, Will. What about sons that didn't grow up with male role models?" That's it. That's still in general toxic masculinity. I believe still can be taught regardless. I didn't have necessarily a father in the house, but I mean, I had enough. He had uncles. He got teachers. To some degree, you have some type of role model that can teach you how to be a man. Typically, you run across, but you can watch the TV itself. You can watch movies. Movies can show you toxic masculinity. You can learn how to be radio, music, media that's out there that tells a man that needs to be a provider, or he needs to be tough, or he needs to war movie. That can teach you. So I mean, but that is a thing, though. I guess you're right. And Cap says I got brought up. I got brought up to have self-respect in every way. So I think about that. Okay, well, Lurak says put when the shit hits the fan, every woman needs the man to step up. Okay, so now we're getting into it. So when the shit hits the fan, what we deem that as toxic masculinity, the aggression, all of that, that's a good thought, right? That's a good thought. Alpha Mike says men and women will never understand each other truly. Uh, just accept it. And I think he was referring to when I was thinking about estrogen and when I referred to estrogen and testosterone. Lou Rock says, so I've never hit my kids, but both their moms have beat them bad. Guess they can be considered toxic women. And that's really segues me into my other question. GP man, are you there? Are you
I'm trying something different now. I don't know if you guys can hear me a little
okay?
better.
It's better. It's better.
Better?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's better. Before I go into my question, go ahead. Now I want you to comment because there's a lot to catch up on if you were sitting there for a minute.
Yeah. So Well, I got to say, I travel a lot. I've been to many countries, and you know, it's different when you're in America or you're in first world countries like Canada, or I've been to England. It's different because these type of terms you only see them there. You only hear about them there. It's part of a social construct of making sure that people are put into place, and it's all because of the feminist uh, ideology, really. Because anywhere else in the world, you don't see that kind of stuff. We understand that, hey, if there's a war going on, it's the men that are going to fight. Hey, if there's something bad happening, it's the men that are going to have to take care of it. You know, I've been, I grew up, born and raised here in the States, but traveled to many countries. But that same feminist ideology is not the same in other countries. In other countries where women are really oppressed, they can't, I mean, it's still outdated. Some of them can't even get a license to drive. They can't vote. They can't go out by themselves. It's different. But here, sadly, as a man, when I left the military, and that's the reason why I left the military, was because I would hear that behind my back. Well, the sergeant just wants us to do something because we're women. He wants the bosses around. But even then, I treat everybody the same. You get treated based on your rank and your ability. But sadly, it's just that's the reason why I left the military, because it started being like that, where they could just call you names and you get in trouble for doing your job. It just didn't make any sense. And then in the corporate sector, when I was a manager, I would promote the hardest working person, the person that brought in the most gross, that was, the most loyal of all my employees. And of course, I would get called the same thing, toxic masculinity, because well, you only promote the guys. Well, like, well, who's staying here the latest? Who's here the earliest? Who hardly ever takes the days off, day in, day out? Solves a problem. So it's a first world issue. It's not really, you don't see it anywhere else, and it's made up. Just like Balram said, it's just a made up word. You're either toxic or you're not. It's not really on the gender side. So
That deems the question: is it right or wrong though? Like just because it's not it's our thing that we have, that doesn't necessarily make it wrong to be called out. From what you're saying, it definitely is a feminist agenda, right? And so,
exactly.
but you think it's based in religion to some degree, just to go a little bit further,
No, I wouldn't really put it on
or
that aspect.
society? Okay, gotcha.
It's more, yeah, it's more on the society aspect, definitely over religious.
Well, that's which is kind of society's kind of really each society, especially the women the women oppressed women nature. They're definitely based in religion. That's why I only brought that up because that would probably more be looked at a certain kind of society and religion specifically. Um, but yeah, I got you. I see what you're saying. So my question, well, Solid, do you have something to say as far as that's concerned?
Well, I just think that when you start, I mean, I think you can't read too much into the word toxic, because again, I go back to the fact that the feminists, whatever, men have been labeling women for years. Now all of a sudden it's like, these trigger words, I guess you can call them, pop up, and people are like, oh no, don't say this, a man is this, a man is that. But society, kind of, I mean, society changes, it evolves, so I, people are gonna
So
say
you're
anything.
saying, that the people who obviously the dominant men were the dominant figure, they feel like they're uncomfortable with it, so they're gonna have some pushback.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same
Gotcha.
time, but see, and this is what it is. Whenever someone is in a situation that they don't like, they push back. And now with just everything that is going on, if you say this word, if you say this word, and I forgot who said it, but the whole thing with, you know, are you a she, he, they, whatever? It's like, I am a she, her, and the pronouns, to me, I think that's ridiculous, whatever. But if you want to call yourself a they or them, call yourself a they or them. If you want to call yourself a she or her, call yourself a she or her. But when people don't like something, they push back. Everybody's pushing back on everybody.
Right. So what
So
is it? Somebody said, I got a couple comments. Men, Lou Rock says men have always had the hardest manual jobs and that will continue forever. Alpha Mike says, what about men who chop off their dicks to be a woman? Are they allowed to be feminists? I mean, yeah, man is definitely not to be a feminist, by the way. If you go to dictionary and look at the feminist ideal, or even not that, just it's just the equal, kind of like equal rights more towards for women, so you could definitely be a feminist and be a man. But it's a certain segment. There's even within feminism or any kind of social proactivism, there are levels to it. You get, whether you get the conservative liberals and the all the way super liberals, you got anything, is levels to it, right? So I think what's most people say is being pushed by the super feminists is the toxic masculinity. But the thing is about this is that those who are against it, men who are against it, from what I kind of read and hear, is that they're attacking masculinity as a trait. And so those same traits that built the roads, that built all these things, that built the infrastructure, that put the world in place, if you have a problem with that, you got to have a problem with both. You know what I'm saying? So you're picking and choosing where you want us to be aggressive or to be, controlling, or because in war, if somebody come at your doorstep and want to take your kids and your children, it's going to be some sense of aggression. So when is the line? I think that's the problem. When is the line where toxic masculinity is welcomed opposed to not welcome? And that's why it's hard to define, because it's a thin line. And so, and then also femininity. What is? I mean, is there an opposite thing? Is it such thing as toxic femininity? If it is, I don't even know how to define that. So I mean, why is that not a thing, right? So I guess it was because the men are the dominant figure. But yeah. So what do you say to that, Brina?
I will say something if you want to let me.
Well, I'm
We are
going in a
being
row. I'm
depleted.
going in a row. I'm going in a
Oh,
row.
sorry,
So
carry on.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Silent. Go ahead, Silent. Brina might be busy though.
No. Go ahead and let Caps talk.
Okay, go ahead, Cabs.
Sure, I had to ask my son to lower the telly, so it's so horrible. But like we are being, I just think we're being really like told. Pause it for a minute. We're being really told that we're being like, our kids of today. I look at them and they're nothing like us. They are nothing like us. They won't hold a chair out for a woman, or that's like a thing of the past, unless you respect it. Don't you think that? Like,
Do you think that's toxic masculinity as well?
it's
Well,
not
ladies don't
about
act
you.
like ladies
It
now either.
no, but yeah, this is exactly what it is. Ladies don't act like that anymore. For you to be able to do that
Yep.
anymore, it's like they're as man as you, and that's where the problem is. And it's a shame, really, that they can't wear a dress anymore and be normal. And oh, what, you want them to wear a dress? Don't be feminine. You're not feminine anymore. We're not you. I'm not stereotypically viewing you, but it seems that way, and I feel sorry for my kids because it's like I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I do feel sorry for
Gotcha.
people in that respect.
So so go ahead, Brina. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end of what you were
I
saying,
was
so I
saying
missed my
that
turn completely.
so what do you say to the fact that especially feminists, they pick and choose where they feel like toxicity is, and is it something like, pulling out chairs and doing things like that? Is that toxic as well? Is that a part of it? They deem that toxic, because you know they for men to define femininity can be considered toxic masculinity. Do we even know what that even means anymore? So I just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it breaks down to personality disorder like narcissism and stuff like that. Because I know my son, he likes to slap box with his cousins, and but he's not mean to nobody, they're just playing around. But then he has some friends and some cousins that don't like to do that. They're more timid. So I don't know. I think it breaks down to the individual, but the way people act, no, it's not toxic unless you can control yourself. But that's toxic all around. That could be female, male, whatever.
But that's aggression, though. That's the way boys play slap boxing, fighting, wrestling. I don't know. That could be definitely considered teaching a man. That's borderline toxicity, right?
No,
As far as what we're talking about. You don't think
I
so?
mean, no, I don't think so.
That rough nature with boys play,
Boys
and
are
as
just rough.
boys just being boys.
No, boys are
Yeah,
just
yeah.
rough though. It's in
Okay,
them.
okay, bye.
Yeah, you were asking earlier about like, can females be toxic? And again, I would separate it as well. I'm being, truthful to my moral. I'm saying those traits that Ninja Bunny was it that put up, they're toxic traits, and I think they should be separated from the sexes. A woman could be toxic, a man can be toxic, but it's not men. It's not linked. These are traits that people learn. Bad traits, in my opinion. Like if you're a domestic abuser, if you're beating your wife or beating your husband, it's not because you're a female or a male that you're doing those things. And yeah, I just don't like that phrase. Again, I think it's something that, and again, I feel I should say this as well. We're all kind of hating on feminism just now, but I'm anyone that's against feminism is probably against this new wave of feminism that's came out in the last 5 or 6 years, probably a bit longer than that. Because I think everyone here, I'm maybe speaking out of turn, but agrees that men and women should have equal rights. But this new wave of feminism that is created, and I know Solid, you know her name, the one that I'm referring to. I never remember her name, but she was in the CIA, and she's had this new brand of feminism that kind of gets men and women fighting, more divide and conquer tactics. So that's what I'm alluding to whenever I'm saying this feminist stuff, where they're trying to suppress men's feelings and suppress strong behavior, strong will. That's different to what they are referring to when they say toxic masculinity.
Got you. I'm gonna read a couple comments here. Lou says Hollywood makes me Hollywood makes me wears dresses for a while now. hold on, Lou. I wasn't ready for that. Mike says true. Women now think if you hold the door open for them that you're flirting with them, but you're really just being nice or gentlemanly. I can see that. GP Man says traditional benefits are traditional women, not feminists or modern women. What else? Let me see here. Solid Blue says, Rob, yes, I keep saying individual responsibility. All right. No, I missed what Rob said. But Rob, yeah, you can call in. Rob got thoughts. He just be being shy.
Jill, you need to go up because you did miss a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's going so fast that I can't.
It is. It
That I can't.
is.
Yeah. So if you see and you see, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Shy lady says, I hate the cis word in front of man and woman, and what she means is the cisgender. Now, if you are a straight biological male or female, we are now cisgenders. So that is what she's referring to.
Explain that again. Say it again.
Cis. So if you are, so you have trans, so now it is cis.
Right.
If you are a biological male or female and you're still in your biological body, you are a cisgender.
If you believe
So they group
in
in the women.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Because I'm normal. I'm a cis
Caps.
because I'm normal. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't want to use that word, but I'm saying if you are in your biological body, meaning you were born a male and you die a male,
I'm
you
a
are
cis.
a cisgender.
Fuck off! What they're giving these labels for? I hate people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's for men, or I thought it was just for women.
No. If you are a biological male or female, and you are still biological male and female, when you die, you are a cisgender. So I
Okay,
am a
got you.
cisgender. I'm assuming you are a
Yeah,
cisgender.
got you.
And then Alpha Mike says, I dated a girl who farted in public and she wanted me to be a gentleman and take the blame. I said, nah, we got equal rights. So, and then Rob says people need to take accountability for who they are and how they act. And just a minute, Caps, I have one more to read and then let's
GP Man's
see.
next.
Or GP, okay.
Yeah.
And then Alpha Mike, you're saying about parenting, and you may want to come up on the panel because I'm not sure what you mean by that. But GP Man, Jill says you are next.
Yeah, I just want to touch a little bit more about the usage again. Yeah, so the problem I think with feminism today, it's really they think they deserve the same benefits as a traditional woman. You cannot be a traditional woman and still receive the same benefits for being traditional if you're a modern or a feminist. It doesn't work that way. The way feminism is today, it's not about equality, it's about supremacy. They want all the benefits without the responsibilities, plain and simple. And I've
Mm.
had this happen a lot of times where I give a girl a chance, just because she's a friend of a friend. And this is when I was single, and this girl will come in with an attitude, angry, order whatever she wants so she can take pictures of her food. And I say, well, you know, I'm like, well, we're going to have to, you'll pay for your meal because you ordered too much and you didn't even eat it. And I'll get accused of being toxic, being, same thing, being the toxic man because I don't want to be traditional and pay for her food and all that. I'm like, first of all, I mean, for one, you're not a traditional woman. You just want the benefits of it. It doesn't work that way. Now, if it was different, then yeah, but for the most part, yeah, you got to understand that the traditional benefits are for traditional women, not for the modern, feminist women that are today. It doesn't work that way, and I think that's the biggest problem with today's, with the way women are being taught that hey, well, anything you don't like from a man, you can just accuse them of being toxic, which is not true. Because you can never, anytime a man tries to show any kind of authority towards a woman, you get called that, you get called an incel, you get called, every name in the book, and it doesn't even make any sense. And that's where it gets annoying. It gets bothering some because it's not even logical. It's just emotional, and there's no rational reason behind it other than to just accuse somebody who doesn't agree with you. Because no one ever talks about misandry. I mean, you understand that in America, because most of us are American, you'll never hear about prostate cancer or prostate cancer awareness. You'll never hear about any kind of research for that. But if you look at the data, more men die from prostate cancer than breast cancer. But nobody cares because it's men. Every time I was in the army for many years, I mean, I buried a lot of friends, and nobody really cares because they're men. But if one woman gets murdered, the nation knows about it. The nation will definitely identify her by her first and last name, opposed to a man dying of that, of the same crime. So that's just the way society is. Sadly, I mean, most people they're just byproducts of society. That's just how it is in America and first world countries. And this is where we have toxic masculinity being used a lot. We're opposed to other countries where I go there. There's nothing like that. That's not a first world country.
Yeah, my bad.
I like it.
I had to get my mic together. But so, okay, Silent, go ahead, Silent, because I'm gonna let you respond before I read
No,
some of
no,
the
no, no,
chat.
no, no. I think Caps was asking if he could go.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
go. You know what? We get masked. It's like I said, like your problems, like everyone's moaning about this and moaning about that, and how many genders and how many this and how many that, and how toxic men masculinity is. It's like we're not allowed to say that word anymore, and I suppose that word will get eradicated. Ethan, Ewan, can you? I'll be off in 2 seconds, please. Thank you. But like, we will get eradicated with that and everything. If the world goes the way it is, then yeah, I suppose your freedom of speech is going to be a thing of the past. I suppose because if you take it off us, like I've heard in hospitals even that you can't say certain words anymore. It's getting beyond a joke now. And with women and men, I believe, and this is my sole belief, is it, I hope to God it still stays present. I hope to God, because ain't that the right thing, you know? You know, even animals don't fluctuate. You know, you don't see two lions fucking, like male lions fucking, really, do you? You know, animals stick to it, so why can't we, man? What the fuck? You know,
well,
it's
well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, we listen. Certain things are not healthy. You know, ways society is, they change for a reason. Um, Whether we're taking it too far is typically the question, but you know, we definitely don't want to treat women. I mean, men get used to their position, right? And so we can say femininity, we can define femininity as, you know, still cooking in the kitchen or being ladylike, but then that's the problem in itself. And so I do agree with GP, man, that a lot of women do take advantage of that in general. They, you know, it's cool to be um a feminist or untraditional until it's not, until they're not getting their doors open, or they're not getting their bills paid, or their dinner paid, or you know, they're not going Dutch. And you know, so you can't have it both ways. I do believe in that. So I feel like if you're going to be a traditional woman, be a traditional woman. If you're going to be a, you know, all equal woman, be an all equal woman. But in the back end, there are certain things that men and women, they are different on, and that's okay as well. And so that's I think that's the really the hard part. But solid. You want to go before I read these comments?
I'm just, for GP man, I have to ask. It sounds like I'm just gonna come out and say it, and you can push back. Welcome, American Icon. Um, it sounds like you hating on women. I mean, I think that you can. I don't. When you say feminists, women want to have equal rights. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but at the same time, I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying, or liking a man opening the door or pulling out a chair, because that same man, while that woman comes home from work or whatever, that same man is still going to want his dinner. When the kids need something, is usually the man, saying go see your mom, or your mom is usually the one that's taking care of that child or of that household. So I understand what you're saying, but I think it's possible to have both. And I think women have proven over time that they can do both, just like men have proven that yes, they can stay at home and be a perfectly good stay at home dad should they choose to do that. A lot of women still think that men cannot stay at home and take care of children, house and home. I think men absolutely can. So,
GP, man.
oh, I've done it.
Hold
I've
on,
done
Cap.
it, man.
Hold on, Cap. Let GP they respond to solid. Thanks, bro.
Well, first of all, you're thinking. You said you think that I hate women. I do not. I have a great relationship with my mom. I have a great relationship with the girl I'm seeing right now that we've been together for years. And the reason we have a great relationship is because she is a traditional woman. She has no problem with me asking her, "Hey, what do you want to do for dinner?" And she has no problem saying, "I would like to cook for you instead of we going out to eat." And that's something that I really appreciate because it's basically giving her a part of me. She now, granted, she is first generation, so she still has her ethnic culture behind her to being traditional. She is first generation, so by doing that, when she does things for me, she says, "Hey, it looks like your laundry is getting pretty heavy. Is it okay if I do your laundry, or do you have anything else?" Things that other women I've dated that are American would never do. They would consider if I tell that my ex girlfriends, "Hey, I need you to help me out with laundry. It looks like I have to go out of town because of work." They'll get very, very offended, saying, "You don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do." That aspect coming from me as a man, they have that ideology of me trying to show authority, even though I'm the one paying all the bills. And I never ask for any financial, you know, help or anything. It's just that's the way I look at it. Hey, I want to pay all the bills. That's my lane. That's my place. But when it comes to simple aspects where I do need help, it's always the same backfiring where don't tell me what to do. I ain't gonna let no man tell me what to do. That same ideology is so common among American women that it's really annoying at this point, and that's the reason why I rarely ever date American women. it's just I can't deal with that because that's not how relationships should work. And there's a reason why my mom and my dad have been together for over 60 years married. My grandparents have been married. I mean, I'll take that back. My grandparents have been over 62 years married. My parents had just hit their 42-year mark. So something's working when it comes to traditional women and traditional men. So this new ideology, yeah, it's not a good recipe. It's very hard for it to work.
Can I respond back to him?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't say that you hated women. I asked you, are you hating on women? And all American women are not the same. And my parents made it to 60 years. My parents made it to 60 years before my dad passed. And my mom was extremely independent. She, if my father did not want to do something, whatever, she did it on her own. And my father encouraged my sister and I to be independent because you never know what might happen. You need to learn how to change a tire, change oil. Yes, I do know how to change my own oil in my car, and I often do it. You know, my mom was a extremely independent woman, and it worked. And I know a lot of people who have been married for a very long time where one person's doing this, the other person's doing that, and it worked. So I don't think you should lump all American women into the same, lane, because maybe you were just dating the wrong ones. But there are a lot of women out there who will, step up, and if their husband's clothes need to be washed or whatever, they will step up and they will do that. So again, as I've gotten in trouble by by a certain person because I don't use the word some, maybe you should use the word some, because all American women are not like that.
No, I get that, not all, but I said that I specified modern American women.
Well, still modern, but regardless, but modern American women are not. I mean, some of them probably are, but some of them probably aren't. So, I mean, I'm just saying you got to be fair there.
Right. But I wouldn't use a micro argument against a macro, though. I'm talking about the vast majority, meaning the generality, not the very very few. Because you could really, I mean, most American women are feminists. I mean, that's I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
You already screwed up. Like, do you want me to give you the shovels, just hand it to you so you can dig your hole deeper and deeper?
Hold on, Esther.
Wait.
Ashton, shut your mouth.
Okay, wait. Okay, this is Chill
Helium Queen. Our new name's Helium Queen.
Wait, hold on now.
Okay,
wait. Chill. This is your show today.
Sorry,
so you tell
Sorry.
everybody what the ground rules are.
Yeah, well, we absolutely gonna be respectful here. Absolutely, it's your show overall. So
I'm being
I want to stick to
respectful.
that.
I didn't say anything
I'm not
rude.
saying no. Listen, I want you to hear me out first. I didn't say you said anything rude. Well, like what Caps just did. He didn't say anything rude, but he interrupted me. That's being rude. So what we want to prevent that. No. Ah, goodness. I'm not saying you did. In general, I just want us to take turns. That's a part of being respectful. Not that you cursed anybody out, but we want to take turns. That's all I'm saying. We want to wait our turn. I'm gonna call on you. I won't miss you. I promise. But I got some comments I want to read in the chat, and then I'll let you go and let you respond to that. Since this is a hot topic, just hold it. Just give me a little bit and hold it.
Okay,
I want to read.
fine. I'll just shut my mouth for a minute. But you have
okay. Wait. Okay, if you don't have the mic, if you can mute yourself, that is
that helps as well.
What we want. So again, this is Chill Show, and he will call on each person. It's not where everyone just jumps in. Whatever, everyone is basically waiting their turn. So if it's not your turn to speak, if you can please mute, Chill will get around to everyone.
I'll definitely get to you though, Ashton. I promise. So Mike Tampa Bay says Silent Blue who is now changing the terminology. Why is it changing now? Why is there a different tone in this political atmosphere? I think he was talking about the in reference to toxic masculinity. Just Rob says when a woman is done with the bad boys, then she wants the nice guy. F that. uh, well, Cap says, me and my missus, 16 years, 4 kids. I'm lucky. Nothing's perfect. Hi, cool. I hope I'm getting your name right. Welcome. What if a man looking says, I feel more, I feel maybe more, I'm a woman and advocate for women, or I'm a feminist. Not quite sure exactly what you're trying to say, but you're welcome to call in. Just Rob says, Blunt Ninja, that's true. I'm always nice to all women, and people think I'm flirting or want to sex them up. Yeah, guys get that too. That's rough. Alpha Mike, ask him who pays the blind date. Okay, who plays for the blind date? Yeah. Blunt Ninja says, Rob, I'm always nice to people, and men always have taken. You mean take that for advantage? Take advantage of that? Maybe Blunt. You could definitely call in with those thoughts. Let me see. Lou Rock, Blunt and Rob. I'm always nice to everyone, and yeah, flirting has gone both ways. Rob says, Blunt, exactly. It should be just a toxic trait. It shouldn't be a masculine toxicity. Uh, I can dig that. And it's a lot of comments. So I'm not going to be able to read them all. I'll be reading all day. But that's just a couple I want to read. And I'll kind of get to the more current ones after Ashton goes. Go ahead, say your thing, girl.
No, I have nothing to say. I'm gonna be nice.
No, I
You
was saying
sausage.
you can have an opinion. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I was just trying to make sure that everybody has a turn, because here is a little bit more structured. So this is a Solid Blues show. I want to make sure I, proctor it like she would. And so whatever you want to say is fine.
No, it's cool.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
Ashton, if you want to say something, you can say something. I mean, there's not an issue. It's just that, usually on my show, to prevent people from talking over each other and letting everyone be heard, we just take turns. So you have the mic now, so if you want to say something, you're more than welcome.
Well, why was he bringing up American Girls? American Girls this. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you from Iran? What is wrong with you?
You talk about GP, man?
That's why I don't
Got
speak.
you. Well,
so do you want him to respond? Ashton, do you want GP to respond?
Sure, I don't care. I really could give two shits
I
less.
got it, Solid.
I've been through a hell of a morning. My knee was split open this morning so disgustingly that you could actually see the fat. It's yellow, which is true. And I just went and got stitches, and now I'm in a cast.
Okay, so how about this, Ashton? How about this? How do you feel about toxic masculinity? Do you think GP man was displaying toxic masculinity in reference to his comments?
I think he is dumb as fuck, and I have really nothing else to say to it.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the thing we were talking about.
Okay, all right. Ashton, on my show, you can say whatever you want. You really can, but we don't attack each other on the show. If you want to disagree with his
but you
comments,
allowed him to attack American women.
No,
you allowed that. You realize that, right?
He didn't specifically. Hold on, sorry. He didn't specifically attack you, though. He was saying his thoughts about how he felt like American women were, and he didn't call them dumb as fuck. He didn't say anything like belligerent, or he was just giving his opinion. If you're attacking him and saying he's dumb, that's a little bit different. Talking about an ideal, yeah.
I
so
totally
that's fine.
am.
But that's what we don't do here. That's what we don't want to do here.
No, what's it called? What should you be? What are them people that run around on the field? A mascot. Okay. You should be the mascot to toxic.
Yeah. So, if you can just keep the comments to just a regular commentary opposed to necessarily getting personal. Whether how you feel about it is fine, but you want to stay away from that. That's strike one. We only get 2 strikes here on my show. But yeah,
Okay, so he can
what
go
it is.
against American women and talk shit about us.
What does it matter
Okay.
But
about
I say
American
something
How
women?
about
that
we
What
just
would it
drop
matter
a
if it was
solid,
someone else
solid,
woman?
solid.
What would it
Caps,
matter if
hold
it was
on. Caps,
American women,
caps,
Canadian women?
Yes.
What would it matter if
Wait,
it
wait,
was
wait, wait,
UK
caps.
women?
caps.
Sorry.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
wait,
let you
wait,
just
wait, wait,
drop.
wait, 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 wait.
Solid, just drop them. Just drop
Wait,
them. We ain't got to go through this. Just drop them.
this is not going to turn into the show, and you all know what
Nope.
show I'm talking about. This is not going to turn into that show. So to Caps again,
And
and you
Ashton,
and wait,
exactly.
I am going to get to that. Caps, you know the ground rules for my show, and that's why the show works. Ashton, I understand what GP Man said, but he was not attacking me personally. He did not call anyone out of their name, whatever. All we're saying is if you want to disagree, you're more than welcome to disagree. But we don't have to call anyone dumb as fuckers, or anything. And people know, just please.
Yeah. So we're spending more time than we want to on the subject. So if you
So
can't,
yeah, so
we
why don't
explained it. So if you can
so why don't
abide
we
by
just
it,
move on? So why don't we move
exactly.
on? I do want to give Caps an opportunity, but Caps, you know that I will bounce you. So if you want to respond to everything else, you are welcome. But if you want to get personal with Ashton, whatever, I am going to bounce both of you guys if you all just attack each other, whatever. So that's all I'm saying. Please, please.
I've been
That's
nothing
what you
but
mean. Be
nice to
respectful.
Caps. I've always been kind to Caps.
Got you. We got
Okay.
it. We just let's
All
move
right.
forward.
All right.
All right, Cass, go ahead, bro.
Look, I was just saying, I love I love what you're doing. I love the topic because it's very important to realise about women and men and how we talk to each other. And I suppose that has just give quite a brilliant example. And I don't know, like I talk to people and I talk to women the same, but we all have a different effect. Don't you find that? And Chill Will, I'm going to ask you a straight question. Do you find that when you talk to a man, like a colleague, and you talk to a woman, do you have a different movement? And do people look at you different when you talk to that person? Just asking out of like normal movement, general.
Oh yeah, you can't divide our natural traits. If you're an attractive woman and a regular man, you're gonna have a different energy in reference to dealing with them. It's just that's natural. I mean, especially if you deem them attractive, or just your daughter or your son. You know how you deal disciplining them. A lot of times it'll be slightly different. Even if you might have to remind yourself to be fair, but even then, it's a thing, especially from a person that's from my background and makeup. Now going forward, maybe these children born now will be different, but the traditional aspects definitely are respected as such. And it may be a reason, like I said, because it's easy for men to say that, but for women, it's different, right? They were being suppressed. They were being not considered as equal. So some of that stuff is out the window because I'm not about to do what my grandmama did or my mama did or my great grandmama did. I'm not about to put up with that. This is a new day. And so we as men has to understand that as well. But that begs the question where I wanted to go into next. Are men and women actually equal? And that's what I'm gonna pose, and I'm gonna go to Brenda with this. Are men and women actually equal? How do you feel about that?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I believe in the traditional way of living, though. Yeah. But first, I want to preface by saying I don't take offense to what GP Man said. I think it comes down to mannerisms. If you act like a lady, you'll be treated like one, most likely. And if you have a combative presence, you'll be met with one. And I think he was just sharing his personal experiences. Um, are they equal? Yes and no, because I know some women hit men, but the man isn't supposed to hit back. But I don't know. I mean, in certain situations, it's like, how the fuck you supposed to get her off you? Um, I don't have an answer yet. I gotta think about it.
Okay, bye. We haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm gonna let you go, brother.
Yeah. How do you mean equal? Like equal, define equal, because I'm thinking like, are they the same, or are they? Do they have the same rights? Like,
When
what
it
do you mean?
comes to equality, like, how do you feel about it? I mean, because obviously we have differences. Some
Mhm.
people may say men and women aren't equal. You know, that's a thing. So I mean, however you want to kind of preface it, I mean, it's
Yeah.
whatever. However you want to respond to that is how you want to respond to it. I can't tell you how to respond to it.
Yeah, I'm thinking in that regards, if it's equal, like as in equal rights and equal, equality in the world, I would say that, I would say that now that they can vote and all that kind of stuff, they have to be classed as equal. In regard, I know the whole feminist stuff talk about like it's a man's world, like men get all the big jobs and all that kind of stuff, but this is because of traits. Like men possess traits that are less agreeable traits, whereas women are more agreeable. These are things that you go back to, like gender roles and traits that women and men have that makes them different. That favor men in the business field or industry, like the working field. But we're starting to see more and more. We talked a little bit about this the other day on a podcast where opportunity, what is it? Equality of opportunity versus uh, equality of outcome. So I'm not in favor of equality of outcome, because that means you're basically looking at a company and saying, right, it's 90% men and 10% women. We need to fix that. So let's start giving women more jobs to take it down to 50-50. That's a wrong thing to do, because what you'll end up is the company won't be as good, because then you won't be hiring the best people for the job. You'll be hiring the women to balance out make it more fair. They do that quite a lot. They do it in movies. They do it all over, all different types of fields. Um, you know, making the new James Bond black, or the new Doctor Who black, or making the new Doctor Who a woman isn't necessarily good for the show, or it's not giving the best person for the
Get to
job.
your
Like
point. You're talking forever. Just get to your point.
oh, sorry.
Okay,
Wow, who
Ashton, come
asked
on.
you? Wow,
Ashton,
that is
I mean, really,
disgusting. That is
that
disgusting.
was rude. I mean, that was straight up rude. That was
Bouncer out.
that was straight up rude.
I can take it. I do sometimes waffle on. But again, I'll finish off my point by saying that they are equal, but because for a long time maybe things weren't equal, they are now trying to balance that out, which is wrong. It should be a natural thing. And I'm done.
Chill, before you go on, and again,
Oh, Chill's gone.
I don't see
I
Chill up here anymore.
I should not have to keep repeating this. I, on this show, people are allowed to talk. People talk longer than others. Some people just get to the point and that's it. Sometimes I run my mouth and people are probably saying, I wish she would shut up, but we don't say it. So, that and Ashton says honesty is not rude. What you just did to Ba, that was rude. So, again, guys, you know how my show is. Everyone had been adhering to the structure of the show, and this was Chill show, and he even at the very beginning it is his show, and we could at least, y'all don't want to respect me, respect the fact that this is Chill show, and every guest who is on here. So, Chill.
Chill's not here.
Yeah, I don't see him up here on the panel anymore.
Hey, solid blue sister. You know what? I was just listening in. I just wanted to. I don't really have anything to chime in on the topic. I just wanted to say, great job in moderating and trying to keep a rein on people going back and forth. I agree with the way that you're handling things, and that yeah, you're trying to run kind of like a structured and respectful debate or conversation. So I just wanted to pop in and just say, good job trying to keep the reins on people. That's it.
Well, thank you. And I'm not, trying to be the B or anything, but guys, my show's been on for over a year and everybody knows. And, again, this is, chill show. And I just, but again, uh, we don't attack people on the show. So chill, I'm assuming did get a phone call. So, Caps, did you want to say something? And then I'll go to GP man. Caps.
Yeah, what I want to say is nothing to do with Ashton, but what I will say is that you have got a brilliant show, and I always appreciate it when I can actually get in here and actually try and talk. And I love everyone, and whatever I've said is not a reflection on anyone. You've got to understand opinions like ourselves, and everyone's got one, and some people can't take them. Obviously, when you can't listen to Bar for a little bit and listen to what he's trying to say. I fully agreed with you, Bar, by the way. And, this is the thing. You've got certain people, it's different strokes to different folks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And solid, I love your movement. I think you're amazing. So, yeah, damn right. I love you. I love you all.
Well, thank you, Caps. And I want to welcome Kimberly Michael. Guys, if you go, I mean, I like her show. In fact, I loved her show. I caught you last night on YouTube. Loved it. So she's somebody that you guys may want to check out on Sunday nights on Podbean. And Tuttles, you said Caps and myself were on, I believe, your first live show. And Tuttles, you are right. You are right. So Chill is back. So everyone, Chill is back. He is hosting the show today. So Chill, we assume you got a phone call, but you dropped off. So I think you may want to pass it over to GP Man. I'm going to welcome Woody Bush, and then I'm going to mute myself. So Chill.
Gotcha. Got you. On my bad. I had to get my mic together because it was tripping. I did get a call. All that happened at the same time. I got a phone call my phone died. I'm like, oh my lord. But yeah, go ahead, GP man. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I just want to say I do like this show. I'm in Central Time, and I always look forward to 3 o'clock to come by, so I can jump on. Of course, due to work, I won't be able to call in every time, but I do listen in, and I always enjoy the show when I'm available to listen to this show. Yeah, keep up the good work, Solid. I do like this show.
Thank you, GP. So Chill.
Did everybody get a turn? So I got it when Bar bring the, okay, yeah. So what? It's your turn, ain't it? Did you go already?
You know what? I've been admonishing people, so I've been talking too much. So you everybody knows how I feel. So I
Do
so
we? But I mean, so basically, that's the term toxic masculinity for me. It's always stirs up a debate because I hear that a lot because I'm a man's man myself, right? And so a lot of times when people approach me, they're like, "Oh man, that's a lot of toxic masculinity energy." Even if they're playing like, men being men. I don't know. I have to question myself, right? And so that's why I'm bringing up the topic for today because I'm like, "Oh, is that really a toxic thing?" Because if I was about to defend your ass from that man hitting on you, what would you like me to do? Let him whoop your ass? I mean, or is that just wrong or right? Matter of wrong or right, or just fighting in general? If I was to bust him in his ass, would you be screaming at me, toxic masculinity. You shouldn't have busted his ass. Should I have subdued him? Should I just came and gave him a good talking to? Hey, don't be disrespectful. Don't put your hands on that woman. Are men not supposed to feel that way? And that's why I want to know, where's the line? No one's really telling me where's the line at, and saying that scenario. But overall, it got to be a line, right? It's because I don't know.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
On your show? Okay, so Chill, I understand what you're saying, but don't you think that men kind of, made that term themselves, that they kind of backed into it? Because what about those men who, and I'm going to say this because I have two cousins in my family who beat the crap out of their wives, and that's plural, and they learned that because their fathers beat the crap out of my aunts, and so, and then when you're around them, they want to take that attitude and put it on you. So, like, literally, if they come over your house, they're telling you, go and get me something to eat and do this and do this. And you're like, what the fuck? You in my house? You better take that someplace else. That to me is toxic. It's not if a man is trying to support you or to protect you. It's the control thing. It is them wanting to it's not even being head of the household. It is just why don't just, I'm in charge, and I am the man, and so therefore I'm the caveman. I'm dragging my cave woman by by her hair. That's what I see as toxic.
So how do we fix that? Because, like, you got to think about it, right? To be a man's man, to be a provider, but to be a protector, you wouldn't complain about those same attributes, right? I don't think any woman would when it comes to the benefits of it, because although those are gross vices in any kind of, like, I really think that's just wrong and right. I don't think that necessarily that goes beyond toxic masculinity. That speaks to what Bob was saying. Like, wrong, that's just ridiculous. Some things are just ridiculous, but they
you also
can
have
yield those
women,
attributes.
but you have women who also do the same thing. You have women who, I mean, Alpha Mike said it with this Johnny Depp and this Amber Heard thing. It's like, I truly believe that she was beating his butt, whatever, and I think that she was probably toxic. So women absolutely are toxic just as much as men, but what adjectives are you going to use for the word toxic? Is it that I'm just trying to protect you, or is it that you better do what I say, and when I come home from work, then you better do this, do that, and whatever. And I
Well,
do believe Kimberly Michael is on, so I think she is.
and okay, got you. So just really quickly, Brina says, chill, Will, that's like when a woman runs her mouth and a man expects her to step in and he gets blindsided. Well, yeah, I understand that.
Okay. Wait, hold on one second. Kimberly, you're not showing up on my panel, so you'll
Yeah, I
probably
don't see.
probably have to say something in order to pop up, because Podbean gets funny like that sometime. Or
Yeah, because
you
that's
might
why I was
have
like,
to,
man.
or you might have to go out and then come back in.
But please come back. If not, just come on through and voice your concerns or comments.
Can I say something quickly?
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
So what you just said there, Solid, is my point, and I've said this a few times, is those traits should not be called toxic masculinity. They're just toxic. That's the point. That's the point I think everyone's missing, or maybe they're not, it's maybe just me, but if you're sitting there saying, I demand you make me a cup of tea or make my sandwiches, that's not toxic masculinity. That's just bossiness. And there is a real big problem there, because I think Will asked us all, is there such a thing as toxic femininity? So that just shows you the agenda there. I know you guys hate when I talk like this, but it's an agenda, because when men maybe are forceful or not agreeable, they're going to brand us as toxic, and they're going to beat us down to a pulp where we're all feminine and we're all subservient. So you guys need to realize that it's not the two aren't linked. It's not toxic masculinity. It's just toxic.
Toxic behavior.
Yeah, that'll do.
That's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
It's toxic behavior. And hey, everybody, I'm not. I didn't.
Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Go ahead.
So I look at this completely different. I don't believe in toxic masculinity. I believe in toxic behaviors. However, if there were to be something such as toxic masculinity, I believe that I think that women are now carrying generations of masculine energy, and it's showing up in a toxic manner. I can't speak on the men and other than just they have bad behavior, but that's just my insight to it. I think that we get narratives that are pushed into certain communities on purpose to make us feel a certain way, and then we start to behave a certain way, but that's not necessarily what's truly happening. But if you think about it, it's one thing for a woman to have toxic energy or masculine energy at all, and then for her to give birth to a female and be, we're talking now where this has been happening. And so you have to take that in consideration. Women weren't built to carry the weight of that much masculinity.
Okay, Kimberly.
Is that us or that's her? Okay.
No, Kimberly, you're coming. Me. Yeah, you're coming in and
Kimberly,
out.
Yeah, you were in and out. Yeah, you were a little bit in and out there. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, my bad. I was just saying that if anyone has any type of toxicity, it would be the women carrying that type of masculine energy. We weren't built for that. We were built to carry our feminine energy. And, when we were talking about generational curses, this is one of them. This is one of the curses that we as women are carrying down generationally that we have to break, but we don't talk about that. We just keep, passing on this masculine energy to each one of, each generation after us, because we're not healing that side of us. We're not releasing that energy. We can't just keep carrying it like that. It's not who we are as women. And again, I don't know if this part cut out, but I'm not speaking for all or everyone or they. I'm merely speaking for me and what I believe and I hold as truth. So that's my insight on the toxic masculinity.
So real quick, what is your idea of toxic, femininity and masculinity? Because you mentioned these things, but I don't necessarily we got a good operational definition of what you consider feminine, because that those are bold statements you made. So I want to make sure I'm getting, we all getting the right idea of what you mean by feminine or masculine.
So of course, I personally believe in balance. I believe that we all carry both. But I believe that in the balance that is and that exists, that men have the easiest way to explain it is men thinking logically and moving logically, that most men move in, and most women should move in a nurturing and emotional state. We should, a healthy one, not a toxic, a healthy one. And so, and those polar opposite is what I'm speaking about. So, of course we all carry certain energies, but it's when we are overwhelmed with an energy that doesn't belong to us. And there's no real defining feminine energy, because another woman may be 10 times feminine than me, and another woman may be one side up to me, a little bit, less feminine. So there's not so much a definition as it is just the energy and the way we move. We're not moving in our natural energies right now, and this is what's causing toxicity. Not to mention, you add in all the trauma that people have had. You barely run into anybody that's had just a great life. And so now we're multiplying traumas, we're multiplying energies, we're carrying things that we were never intended to carry, and it's coming out with these toxic behaviors. And then we have narratives and, everything else that's contributing to that as well too. We're speaking it, we're singing it, we're talking it, we're walking it, we're wearing it on fucking t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? So
got you.
It's
So
coming
so
out.
I'm a, so real quick, so are you saying that just the lack of traditionalism in today's society is yielding toxicity? Is that kind of phrasing it a little bit, kind of summing it up?
I
No?
don't
Yes?
really word tradition because I think that,
I mean, just for lack of
you
better
know,
terminology,
I
just,
mean, as long as you realize I'm not speaking in roles, I'm not talking about
yeah.
a woman cooks and cleans. And I
Uh-huh.
mean, how we move spiritually as a man and how we move spiritually as a woman. I'm talking about that traditional connection.
Just by
That's what,
nature. Got you. I got you.
yes, exactly.
Got you. I got
Exactly.
you. Okay, well, awesome. Ziller, go ahead, Ziller.
Oh, hey.
What up, big
How's
dog?
everybody? How's everybody doing?
Cool. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just listening. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I just got in, so I
I got
actually
you.
just got into the middle. So can you catch me up?
What we just talking about toxic masculinity, bro. So if you keep listening, I'm sure you'll have a comment here
Yeah,
real
yeah.
soon.
I'll
Yeah,
definitely do that. I'm sorry.
absolutely. Let me read some of these comments. Is Alpha Mike Bean against someone just because you don't like the way they live isn't godly. The devil is. Oh, well, I think that's in response to something up further, which I cannot see. These comments are popping, so forgive me if I can't read them all. They popping, and y'all following it, but forgive me. Durock says never said I hate anyone, just don't support it. That's all. All right. He also says this is also a country of freedom and religion. Yeah, I probably have to go way up to catch up with that conversation. Sounds like, but in general, I like something Kimberly said. She says the energy of a woman is kind of being nurturing and emotional, and then the general nature of a man is being logical and just based in that, and less emotional, and so that could necessarily be considered being toxic to some degree. I mean, do y'all agree with that though? Like, I mean, obviously we're speaking law of averages. Every woman is not super emotional. We're not gonna. When we speak about women and men, we're speaking about in general, like GP man said, speaking in general terms. So I mean, is that a thing though? I don't know. Is it just actually a biological makeup that women are just more emotional than men nowadays? Because I feel like, I don't know, men can be emotional too. They just handle it different ways, right? Say they may be like if in a relationship, a man might get violent, or sometimes women do, but 9 times 10 women might just cry and or be more passive aggressive. And so that's the thing. I don't know. What's y'all feelings about that? We're gonna start with Caps, I guess. Caps, you there? He might be eating dinner. Solid, did you go?
I went. I am responding to some
Okay.
of these comments.
Roger that.
So, um, um, Brina hasn't had a turn for a bit.
Yeah, Brandon's
So,
next.
Brina,
Brandon next.
I don't have much to add. I mean, Kimberly said it beautifully. I think women are supposed to be a man's calm and comfort, and man should hold that role as far as being a protector and a provider. But somewhere along the line, I don't know, women got too tough, I guess. I don't know. I don't have anything else to add though. She said it perfectly.
Absolutely. And Ba.
I with what GP Man said earlier about like dating these women, that I worked with a friend back in like 2016, and we were out for a few beers one night, and he opened up and said that he was one of these guys that made his girlfriend or wife at the time, I can't remember if they were married, make his sandwiches. She was the traditional stay at home, look after the household wife, and he openly said to me that like he couldn't date anyone else because he's out there working, breaking his back, doing like dangerous. He had a job as like working on building sites that was quite dangerous, and I do see the benefits to that. But again, it's even saying that in a group like this is kind of scary, because the way the world has turned, a lot of women would be like, hell no, but there are a lot of benefits to that way of life, and when you look back at traditional ways of life. I think it was a better way. The only change, and I think it works well for someone that's saying those things to kind of not have everyone jump on their back, is by saying, I'm open to the other way around also. The man stays at home and makes the sandwiches and looks after the house. That shows that there's no bias here, because that kind of stuff coming from a man can get a lot of women really pissed off. But if you really think about it, women or men should, like, if my wife made a good amount and could look after the house, I would easily stay at home and make the sandwiches and look after the kids in the house. But the way the world is made, it's we've had a show on this before where you can no longer do that, and this is all playing into that, the way the world is now, where they'll hit men off against women by creating terms like toxic masculinity. But listen, my heart is good in it. I don't think women should be stuck at a kitchen sink. That's not what I'm saying. But the whole thing is that ideally one parent staying at home is beneficial to look after the house and less stress on the one that's out there working. And you'll probably live a much happier life and a much longer and fuller life if that was a possibility. That's all that I'll say on that.
Okay, so all right. So this is to the women. I'll go to the men. How do you feel about the docile nature? Like would a woman respect? Do you as a woman respect a man with a docile nature? How about that? Let's do that, because that's kind of for a man that's a little bit untraditional and it's probably opposite toxic, quote unquote toxic masculinity. A man that doesn't mind cooking and cleaning and being like submissive or subservient, like those. How would you respect a man to be a man? If you would you be with him? You know what I mean? Would you respect him? Is that how do y'all feel about that? And I guess I would go with Silent. Let's start with Silent on that one.
For docile, so you're saying that they're cooking and cleaning?
Nah,
Is that
nah,
your
just that.
terminology?
Not just that. I was just thinking in reference to just a more than nurturing, emotional, that was quote unquote considered womanly traits, or just like whatever it is in that whole group of things. Not just that, but just the nature of it, the nature of
But see, okay, and this is
of what's considered to be women.
okay.
How would you want to be with a man like that? Would you respect a man like that?
Okay, I'm trying to answer this. You just pretty much stereotype how men should not be.
No. That's not what I'm doing.
Because,
I'm asking you about a traits. No.
okay,
I'm asking about traits.
if a man is quiet, if he does chores around the house, if he cooks and cleans, yeah, I could be with a man like that. I can also be with a man who if he wants to take charge, whatever, okay, fine, but just don't be controlling, whatever. And my husband is quiet. He is extremely quiet. He cooks. He cleans. He cooks better than me, and I know how to cook.
That doesn't mean he's not masculine though. Like that's not the only part of that.
But you said womanly traits, so I am
I said quote unquote womanly traits, not just. For lack of better, like just
so
that's came off
that's
top,
what I'm saying when you say docile, because docile to me is somebody who yes, no, okay, no,
right,
yes,
right.
That is docile. I mean,
right.
So
that's
when
what
you
I mean.
say, okay, but women are that's not a womanly trait to me.
I said quote unquote considered to be like in that traditional kind of aspect, like the man that would be.
Okay. The answer to your question is yes, I could be with a man like that.
Okay, Brina.
No, I don't consider it not manly, but personally, no.
Got you. And I don't know if I'm looking at the chat. Blunt Ninja says my partner works all day and cooks because he's better at it. He helps me clean and we split chores, but I'm with Brina. I don't do dishes. Well, I wasn't just meaning that. Tuttle says, I do laundry. My wife does the dishes and I cook a lot. We have our things that we like and don't like, so we work together. That's awesome. See
Yeah,
what
that's the
Cap's
same as me. Like, I go to work all day
Kate
long,
Bernadine,
and I hope there's a
men,
dinner in front of me. You know,
and
I hope
Cape
there
Verde
is.
men are
You know,
brought up
you know,
to
you're
help
lucky to
women.
have a
Hold
dinner
on,
in front of
Caps.
you.
Hold on, Caps. I'm coming back to you, brother. I promise. Cape Verde men are brought up to help women clean the house, cook, wash clothes, buy groceries, and go to work. The women share also. Okay, so y'all basically saying they working together is what it is. But now for the men, do you respect a man that would be considered that way? How do you all feel about a man being that way? You know, not necessarily being the controller or not necessarily being, just playing a background more so. How do you feel about that, Cap?
I'm not the controller. I've never been the controller. I've loved the factor that I've never. My relationship is not from me being the controller. So I'm glad, and I can reflect on it from my own movement. And like I seen my dad be the controller all my life, and I knew that that weren't the best. And I'm so happy with a mutual respect with my missus and with myself, and we know what jobs need to be done in the house, and we would do it accordingly. And this is what you need. You need compromise, and if you've not got compromise in a relationship, you've got nothing. And you might as well give up and pack your bags and fuck off. Sorry, but that is the
Okay.
truth.
So let me put it this way as well. What if a man isn't prone? Like, how do you feel about a man that isn't prone to step up and maybe provide
But you
for his family
learn,
or
yeah, you
defend
learn,
defend defend his family, right?
yeah,
How
yeah.
about that? Like,
We,
you learn, but what if I'm talking about somebody who necessarily does it, right? Like, how
yeah.
would you feel about that person? How that man? Do you feel like a man should step up and he has to provide
I think you should
and
learn.
protect?
Yeah. You look at your situation and you've got two choices. You're either going to stick or you're not, and it's really
So you'll be
important that
cool
you
with the
do.
woman necessarily say, "Hey, baby, you stay here while I go get the gun."
Well, I suppose not really, but everyone's different. I suppose. Like
You're
I've
right.
met
You're
people
right.
who would run like from a spider, and I'm like looking at it, going, "What are you joking?" You know. And that's my pal who would hurt anyone, and it's like so everyone's different, you know. So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pose the same question to Ba. Or did Kim? Kim, did you ever ask? I'm sorry, I didn't come to you about the. I think that's your name, Kim. I didn't ask you about that myself. I'm sorry.
About if I could have a man like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just want to change a few words. But and I just don't want to confuse the question because originally you were
Do you want to
speaking
respect? Do you respect, or could you be with a man like that? What are your
right,
feelings about the respect factor of that type of personality in a man?
right. Well, yeah. I mean, no, it's. I mean, it's definitely not for me because. But I don't want a man that's controlling or anything either. But I don't want a submissive man. That's not. I have no desire to be with a submissive man if that's what you're referring to as far as a feminine trait.
Well, got you. That's a simple answer. Ba, go ahead, Ba.
So, I don't know. This is definitely in my life. I know more men that are controlled by their women. Like it's more common, way more common, to hear of a man being under the thumb who can't go out for a drink with his friends, who can't, we have a friend we play Call of Duty with, and whenever his girlfriend comes round, he's like not allowed to speak. He's not allowed to speak to us. He has to have his mic muted when he's on the game to us. So, like, that's why I'm saying it's funny that we're talking about toxic masculinity when probably there's, like, in my instance, I think there's more female toxicity when it comes to it. But there's no no, obviously there's respect. If they're your friend, you're respecting them. But when it comes to you ask them out for a boys' night out or a night out to the cinema or something, you just stop asking them because you know they're not going to be allowed to come with the boys. So yeah, the respect does go there.
Okay. Ziller.
Oh yeah, that's messed up like solid blue, but now I understand what we're talking about. What you just said about that part. I say we should all get together. Um respectfully, but I agree with Brina and in love. I'll do the dishes all damn day. When it comes to the dishes, I don't like I'm the opposite. I'll do the dishes all fucking day, anytime. But that's not anything to deal with dating or anything. But I will not do any. I will not vacuum the floor one damn bit unless it has to be done.
Right on, Ziller. All right, so I'm gonna read a couple comments real quick. So
Can,
Cap says, "Yeah, my pops."
can I just interrupt for a moment,
Oh,
Ziller? If
go
you
ahead.
could mute your mic,
Yeah.
please,
I'm
when you're
sorry.
not speaking. Okay, go ahead, Chill.
Go ahead, Solid. Go. You got some more you wanted to say, Solid, or you just
No,
was
I
telling
just
him to
was
mute?
telling. I was
Okay,
just telling
gotcha.
Ziller
I
to
got you.
mute his mic.
Roger that. Cap says, "Yeah, my pops has always been the controller and was always the provider." So, Juju says, "Don't forget to hit the like button." Yeah, everybody bust that like button. That helps. Helps. Yeah, share, and you go follow Solid on YouTube. What is it? TikTok, Twitter. Uh, follow her on your calendar. Put 4 o'clock on your calendar.
Put the links
Monday
up
through Thursday.
on the chat. Put the links up on the chat so we can actually see it.
We're at the 146 mark, and you guys know I don't like going all the way up to
Yeah,
2 hours
I
because
know.
then
That's
we
why I
just get
went
cut off.
segued into that. Right,
So
right.
yeah.
That's why I kind of segued into that. So, definitely go like, subscribe, and do all of that on her YouTube channel. She's going live on YouTube and what else?
YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebook, Twitter. I'm trying to figure out how to do both on TikTok, but yeah, I'm trying to go everywhere, guys. So
Absolutely. And just a couple more comments, I guess, because there's so many. And I'm sorry if I wasn't able to get to y'all. Y'all was really popping in the chat. It says Apple Mike says if my wife wants to be in control, then I let her. Long as she doesn't down talk you. Got you. And so is it? I mean that. So is there such thing as toxic femininity then? If it's such thing as toxic
Yes.
masculinity, what is toxic femininity then? Like I feel like this got to be is that the same as toxic masculinity, like controlling? I mean,
Yes.
it's a controlling person. Yes, that's what it is.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So that mean that would make I would feel like that'd be what boss is. It's not even about toxic. It's just about a person being it is about being toxic. It necessarily isn't relegated to women or men. It'll be just a toxic behavior. And so we tend to we delve into those relationships. We don't have to learn what it is first and foremost. What's toxic behavior to even we have to identify it to even not necessarily end up in a relationship like that. From my experience, I ended up in a relationship and didn't even know it was toxic, and I had to sit back and think like, damn, this is toxic. So yeah, so for the most part, I want to thank everybody because I don't want to take it too long. Start up a whole other conversation. Sada says she want to cut it down, but it was awesome.
I was just letting you know about your time.
It was awesome to talk to everybody, and you got the chat booming. You got the phone line booming, and anytime, Sada, anytime, I'm always here for you, and have a great time doing this. So.
I invited you to host my show. This was your topic, but I do want to I'm gonna go to Kimberly first, then Caps, and then Bob because they have their own shows. Kimberly, are you still here?
She's here probably. She just left real quick. Yeah, she can pop back in.
All right. So Kimberly, if you want to pop back in, then I will go to Caps. Caps, do you have a show on Podbean? Do you want to tell people when you are on? Caps, you there?
Yeah, me. Sorry. You know what? Your show is amazing, and everyone who's been listening, I swear to God, it's brilliant. It is, isn't it? Really. And anyway, yeah, I will have a show. I'll be playing music and chatting loads of bollocks. But like at the end of the day, your show is brilliant. I wish I could even try and do a show like yours. Yours is amazing. So yeah, I'll just give you all the props because you're brilliant. So that's me, and I'm out, and I love you, and I love you all.
All right. Thank you, Caps. Ziller, you have a show. You want to tell people when your show is on?
Mine's tonight. I always enjoy your show. I always say it. I just can't wait for tomorrow at 4:00. You know I'll be here. Always.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Thank you very much. Ba?
Well done, Chilwell. Great show. Really enjoyed it. And I usually have a show on Thursdays, but there's not going to be a show this Thursday because Solid Blue and I are doing a meet and greet with Scooter. So next Thursday will be the Baramu show. Thanks again for having me, and love you all. Catch you later.
Yes, everyone. This was Chill Show, and he came up with the topic. So I appreciate the kudos you guys are giving me, but Chill was the one who came up with the topic. And then as far as Scooter, Scooter from Beans and Weenie, Ba and I are doing a live show on Saturday with Scooter. So that show will be on Saturday. And something else is coming up. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember offhand. So, Chill, you have anything else you would like to add before you close out your show?
Juju, she said we need a part 2. That's all I wanted. I wanted to make sure you heard that. Juju said she needs a part 2.
There's so much stuff going on in this chat.
But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Maybe next week. Maybe or I don't know if you want to do it that long, but we'll have a.
Okay, well, Lou Rock, I want to say this. Lou Rock gave some love to me. He gave some love to Brina. Gave love to Ba, to Caps, to Chill. Gave some love to Kimberly Michael, and gave some love to Zilla. Gave love to everybody who was on the panel. So thank you very much, Lou Rock. That was very nice of you. And Shy Lady, thank you.
Tuttle says Thursday night, 10:30.
That's right, Tuttles. That's right, Tuttles. You guys, Tuttles again. The show that you guys did last Thursday, I enjoyed it so much, and I will be there again tomorrow.
And everybody follow everybody in the chat. At least the people you like. Follow them. Tap on them and follow them, so you get the alerts when they on. So tap on, follow them.
You know
support.
what? You know what? That is true. So y'all, if y'all want to tap and follow people now, while they are on, and again, Ashton, I'm looking at what you just said to Hanny J. I don't know. So. But again, thank you guys for coming. And other than that, I'm going to say it. Go where the wind takes you. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a fun show. We're going to have a fun show tomorrow. We're going to talk about high school. So,
I'm going to enjoy this one.
I'll see you soon. I love you all, man. Have a good, lovely night, and God bless, sweet dreams, and see you tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Much
okay,
love,
Alpha Mike. Next topic: does size matter? I can do that show. We did one on orgasms, and that has been one of my most downloaded shows.
Who said that, Tyler? Who said that?
What does size matter?
Yeah, who asked that? That was on.
That is Alpha Mike. Yeah, Alpha Mike said that for a topic. So I will do a show on that. And Tuttle says Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. and that's 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Talk hard on the mighty Giants, not the baseball team. Okay, so.
Oh, my baby mama's hit me up on the side about that subject.
And Brina, I hope that you come back on the panel. So please, because I always like what you have to say in the chat. So,
all right, guys. Thank you. It was fun.
All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Like I said,
y'all.
Go where the wind takes you. Bye. Ashton, just so you know, you are welcome back. You know, we just gotta follow the rules of the show to give everybody an opportunity. So Aaron, Juju, Ashton, Tuttles, Grid, and Grid, thank you so much for being on both Facebook. I'm sorry, both on YouTube and Podbean at the same time. Alpha Mike, thank you all for coming. Chill, thank you again for joining the show. Caps, Power Girl, GP Man, Frankie, Shy Lady, Blunt Ninja, New Rock, all of you, Woody Bush, Henny J, Chris Wilson, Ziller, everyone, thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.